is the Glass Cannon Network.
Hello, and welcome back to Voyagers of the Jump. I'm Matthew Capodicasa, and I have no idea what to talk about right now. I try to generally have like a couple topics at the ready for just to break the ice and to ease us into the game. And sometimes something comes up before the show, and I'm like, oh no, I'll just use that. And today, I got nothing. And
you had a real like Rod Sterling opening though. I felt like you were going to go into something like, could you believe this to be true? And like tell some weird. It was very strong. You had a really strong opening.
Imagine if you will.
Yeah.
You're about to enter a dimension of light and sound. I listened to a really great Rod Serling, a podcast about Rod Serling. It was the Imaginary Worlds podcast that I think we've talked about on some of our shows, and it was really good. Maybe I love the
kept meaning to listen to that. It sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
You were
Thanks
talking
for the
about
reminder.
it.
I forgot. We did talk about it. I wanted to listen too. I love Rod Sterling.
Who also fellow Ithaca grad, like our own friend Grant Berger.
Is that true?
Yeah. Or he taught. I think he taught at Ithaca.
The same year.
No, I don't. I think they're different classes. But
Rod
no, I
Serling
think
went back to school many years later and got
he taught. My aunt was in one of his classes actually.
Oh, really?
That he taught. Yeah.
What's your favorite Twilight Zone episode, Skid? I feel like we've maybe danced around this before, but we haven't.
Monsters Are Coming to Maple Street.
Okay.
Well, there's that one,
good.
And there's another one that I sort of have a fondness for, which is the robot baseball player. Have you seen that one?
No, but this I have heard you talk about.
Yeah, they build like a robot. I think it's what's his name from Psycho? Probably not
Anthony.
No, Anthony Perkins. No, I was thinking because he played Tom Pearsall in the Tom Pearsall story, which is crazy that he played Tommy Pearsall, but or Jim Pearsall. Anyway, that's a really fun story. It's like they build a robotic baseball pitcher, and it's a fun like AI kind of sci-fi story. It's plus sports. Yeah, it's good. I have
a I think we definitely have talked about it on this podcast, but I have a fondness for To Serve Man.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. And I thought it was an Outer Limits episode, and it's not. It was Twilight Zone.
Do you guys remember the episode where it's like it takes place in the country, and there's a little blonde boy, and he can control things with his mind, and everyone's afraid of him, and he like kills people.
Yes.
Yeah, the cornfield.
Yeah.
The cornfield.
Yeah.
So good. He's like a creepy little kid, and he wants to watch like what he wants to watch on the television set, and he wants to listen what he wants to listen to on the radio, and the whole family is like, okay, Johnny, anything for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
And then like someone will be like, I don't like Johnny scares me, and he'll like look at the camera and be like, what did you say? And then he'll just like blow them up with his mind or something. It's such an odd episode. I love it. I think it's
They
great.
vanish. They go into the cornfield.
Oh,
never
right.
to be seen again.
He vanishes them. Right. I'll put you in the cornfield.
Yep.
That was one they reused in the movie, wasn't it? The
was that in the movie
child?
too?
Everyone, yeah. Except he like put somebody in like a cartoon and stuff. I mean, it had a little bit better effects. Yeah.
Wow, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen the movie in its entirety. I've watched
Dan
a segment or
Aykroyd.
two. Dan Aykroyd. Also, people died for that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, there was
It was a
fatal
big thing.
helicopter accident.
Yeah, that was horrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful, and it was Vic Morrow, right? And Vic Morrow and two children. It was truly terrible.
He was carrying two children, I think, when the helicopter dropped on them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's awful.
And that's
this is a dark way to start this episode.
Yeah.
I know. Wait a minute.
Hold on, I'll pivot. But have any of you read any of the Hellions series from the new Dawn of X? Or actually, I think that's Reign of X, or one of the new X-Men runs. No, okay, it's great. Zeb Wells wrote it, and it's
yeah.
Empath is one of the characters, and one of the kind of underlying questions is he a sociopath is he just a sociopath who has this mutation, or did his mutation make him a sociopath, or did his mutation with no ability to live with anybody who could control him or show a good example cause him to be a psychopath? So it's reminded me of that Twilight Zone.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. Zeb Wells he's very good, and he went to my high school. We both went to Columbine.
Huh.
And for his senior year, he did like a parody of a New Kids on the Block video, I think.
Oh my God.
Go on.
That
What?
It's very funny, but probably should never be shown again. It was very funny, but it's
Were you the same year? No. He graduated. We never were there together. I think he started like 5 years after I left or something. Got it.
Yeah, but we've met, and he's a really cool guy and excellent writer.
Very good writer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's all I got.
I have something. I have show and tell. I have a show and tell thing.
Oh.
So before I forget, so Seth has the coolest spaceship model of all time that I'm super envious of.
Yeah, it's
but I keep forgetting. Samantha for my birthday got me this.
Ooh.
Let me see.
The Rocinante.
Is it the Rossi? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Rossi. Look at that.
I love
That's very cool.
toys.
I love it so much. Just bristling with guns.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest ships like in sci-fi ever. It's just,
That
the
is
ship
very
like
cool.
it has to be a character like in your story, and this is a great character.
Yeah.
I just finished the book series like about 3 weeks ago. It was kind of like saying goodbye to some old friends because, I would watch the seasons when they came out and then I do the book because you're always disappointed if you do the book first. So I just choose to watch the show and then do the book. So once they finish the show off, there's 3 more books. So I was like, well, let's dive in. And so I just finished the final book a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, man, I miss them.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I hope they keep making the show. I hope they
because the storyline fast forwards like 30 something years. Like they're all old when it starts, and
I didn't know
and then
that.
because they had to like show this kind of progression. But like the weird thing that in the final season with the 2 kids, that's a big deal in the later ones. So it's like, were they planning on still going? Otherwise, why did they have that little storyline with the 2 kids on the planet and the weird dog things? But,
yeah, I think they were like kind of laying bait for someone to pick them up, that there would be like, oh, enough interest, and people would be like, what's with those kids? That like there would be more demand for them to do another season, which I hope they do.
Me too. I have to catch up. I'm a season behind.
It's
Well,
good.
It's interesting you mentioned things ending. That's my segue. Hey.
Hey.
All right. What a
You
pro.
did it.
Oh, no.
Well, last week was a bit of
He's
a
like the
humdinger.
Jack Nicholas of these segues.
That's exactly what I am. I'm the Jack Nicholas, hairstyle and all.
That's right.
Madras shorts and all. Anyway, last week's episode was a bit of a humdinger, or at least it turned out to be. So, as you all recall, after interrogating the surviving mercenary, one Evelyn Jones, and learning that he was part of a raiding party that was hired by the Chlorthian government, the crew of the Kate's Gambit finally got some well-earned rest. And however, they worked up a wake. I'm going to take a minute. I'm just going to reflect upon the fact that I can't form a sentence, but we'll go
We
back.
can cut all this out. We can start the whole thing over from the very beginning if you really
All right,
want.
well, now we found our banter topic. Let's go back. Anyway, however, the next morning they woke up to discover that Jones had died of what they eventually found out was a massive cerebral hemorrhage in the brig. Or rather, the hemorrhage was in his head. He was in the brig. But no one was seen entering, and the guards, who, as well as the black marketeers Drax and Collis, who were locked up thanks to your intervention, they hadn't seen anything either. And you all had a number of theories. I think you talked about the supposedly airlocked drugs that Drax and Collis had been smuggling on board. Poison, I think, came up, and then also psionic attack. However, the big thing became that when Captain Yang confronted you about the death, you learned exactly what the captain was currently dealing with, which is that she had received authenticated orders to deploy the Ellison's complement of biological weapons and wipe out the world of Loquar, which was a coreward planet with a population over 100 million that had suspected rumblings of separatism. So you were eventually able, though, to convince the captain to risk court-martial and potential execution to first travel to the nearest Imperial naval base to verify the current date and if the orders were still valid. And having, I guess, saved the population of Loquar, at least for the moment, you all regrouped on the Kate's Gambit and retreated to your respective corners. When Philo stepped onto the bridge, he found someone sitting at the pilot station, and when he reached out to turn the seat around, he found he suddenly couldn't move. And as the chair swiveled, revealing it was the Ellison's tactical officer, Sub-Lieutenant Hale Volman, waiting for him. And Volman looked at him and said, "We should talk."
Oh, man.
But let's leave that for the moment, because why jump right in when we have 3 other crew members who are on board, and let's see what's happening with them.
Yeah,
So,
how's the car? That's what I'm really
how's
curious
the car
about.
doing? Yeah, which one of you was going to check on the car?
Artemis is in the cargo bay.
What are you doing in the cargo bay?
Well, I think she assumed, I don't know what's going on upstairs, so I can't metagame this, but she assumed someone would be hiding in the cargo bay if this is the approach that they were going to take. So I think she is walking through the cargo bay with a flashlight.
Maybe there's a handprint on one of the windows.
She looks over.
Oh, like Titanic.
Wait a second. Who's in that car? She goes up, raps on the window.
There better not be any doomed lovers in there.
Get out of there, kids. You're from different social standings. You
You're
can't
from
be doing
different
that.
social classes. Get out of there.
But maybe she does spot the car, and she's like, nobody's around. I could just drive it around the cargo bay for a little bit.
That's awesome.
That's what I do in Halo.
Donuts.
Yes.
All right,
No,
so
she doesn't do that. She looks around to see if anybody's down there, and she looks for anything out of place.
roll recon.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see. What's my recon? 1. That's going to be a 9.
You don't see anything out of place.
Okay. Everything is as it should be.
Everything is as it should be.
Our comms are working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I comm and I say, all clear in the cargo bay. What's going on upstairs?
Well, let's move over to Puffer. Where'd you go?
I was checking out the engine room because we saw those 2 Marines outside that were like
Yes, I forgot to mention that.
mannequin mode. So yeah, Puffer is going through the power plants and the drives. He's making sure everything is in order. You know, nobody's suspiciously flipped 2 wires around or something. So he's digging through all that, making sure there's no one there, but also no sabotage.
All right, roll. What do you want? Mechanic or engineering? Sure. Either one.
8.
Everything looks fine. All right, and Gigi, where are you?
Okay, Gigi only had one thing on her mind. I don't know if you guys recall that when they were forced to give up their weapons, Gigi had to give up or wrench them at something to her. So she's gonna, as soon as they're allowed back, on the ship, she's gonna start looking around, and I think she was allowed to throw it like in her quarters. So she's gonna find it like clang, 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 like in the doorway of her room, and she's gonna pick it up. She's so happy to see it, and she's gonna put it back Wonder Woman style where it was originally, and she's just gonna go walk around the room to see if there's anything odd or misplaced in there. And I don't think there's anything, but she does notice an old lottery ticket that she wonders if she won, 40, 70 years ago? And she just puts it down on the desk. She hears Artemis's transmission, look around the room one more time, and she's just going to walk out of the quarters toward where whoever the loudest is, probably toward the bridge, I think, where Philo is.
Okay, so you walk up to the bridge, and you get there, and you see Philo is just standing there, frozen, and you see Sub-Lieutenant Volman sitting in the pilot's chair.
Lieutenant? What are you doing in the Kate's Gambit? And she's gonna look at Philo questioningly.
Philo, you can't move.
Guys?
That's the most amazing GIF ever.
It is.
Had that ready to go.
I did. It's like, oh, that's in the little library already.
Okay, so Gigi's just gonna walk up to them carefully, look at Philo, but look at the lieutenant and say, Lieutenant, you have some explaining to do. And then realize they're not even blinking. Reach up her hand in front of Philo's face.
Oh, he can't.
Artemis,
He won't
Puffer.
be able to move until I release him.
They don't move?
He moved. Volman can move. He's not frozen. Philo, however, is frozen, and he says he won't move until I release him. It would be best if you didn't draw the wrench that you have on your back, and probably easier if you just get on the comms and invite your fellow crew members up to the bridge.
Do you want to take a minute and explain what's going on here before I invite everybody up for your little party here on the bridge? What are you doing here?
That is exactly what I wish to discuss. However, perhaps it would be best to do it all at once.
Don't move. Artemis, Puffer, y'all got me? We got a situation here on the bridge. Get up here immediately.
Well done.
Running up.
Yeah, Puffer's dropping whatever he's looking at as running.
But
Pudding cup.
I will say,
My stash.
she knew. Gigi knew. She was like, Puffer, this is not the time.
I know what you're doing right
I
now.
know.
Is that last reactor of the power plant's just a refrigerator and camouflage open up. It's just my pudding stash.
It's a mini fridge the whole time.
Stay away from that. That's highly radioactive. Don't touch it. I'm the only one that can touch it.
Matthew, this is a question. Would I still have my Gauss rifle from the fight, or is that like I had put it down, we talked to the captain, so much time has passed. Maybe I don't have that on my person.
I would guess you probably returned those weapons since you borrowed them from the Ellison. They probably were.
In that case, when she's running up, she knows there's a situation on the bridge. She's grabbing her Gauss pistol that she
There you
left,
go.
and she clunked onto the floor before stepping off the Kate's Gambit. And she's running.
Okay. All right. So Puffer and Artemis, you guys get to the door to the bridge, which is open.
Yeah.
Gigi!
Yeah.
Gigi's just standing there like this. She waves both of you in. It seems we got a visitor here on Kate's Gambit.
Artemis comes in with her pistol out.
Yeah,
And you see-
Puffer didn't even have any visible weapons.
You have your pudding cup?
Gigi looks at Puffer and is like,
Drop it.
Blind him! His eyes!
That would be amazing if the pudding finally had some like plot resonance after all
Yeah,
this time.
Chekhov's pudding.
yes!
I'm hoping we take the bad guy out by running him over with the ATV. Like
That would be even more
that's my goal.
amazing. Try to sonically control this.
So you walk in gun drawn, and Volman just looks at you, Artemis, and he just seems so disappointed in a way. He's just like, really? Really?
Yes, really.
Lieutenant Volman?
That actually isn't my name, but we'll get to that. If you don't mind. And all of a sudden, you have no control over your body, and you just the pistol goes up in the air, you put the safety on, and then you drop it on the counter next to you and walk away from it.
Fuck! God
Okay,
damn it! This guy?
how are you?
This is the guy?
And then he releases you, Philo, and he releases you, Artemis. You can move. You can speak. There. I thought perhaps we should have a conversation. Just the five of us.
as long as you're not going to freeze any of us anymore. When you release Artemis,
I'm good now.
I think perhaps this will be easier if I can show you. With your permission. And suddenly, without even the slightest motion, and he doesn't even like tilt his head, nothing, you all find yourselves out in the void of space. Well,
Whoa!
not even in space. You're somehow not even in space, but you're somehow kind of part of it. Like you're not bobbing out there in the void. You're just kind of there and part of the fabric of whatever.
Like in the planetarium.
What's that?
Like in the planetarium.
Exactly, like in the planetarium, except, for real.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you start to move, like the space kind of unravels around you, and the stars that are twinkling out in the vastness there, they're getting closer and rearranging, and you can actually feel and see and sense that you're getting closer to them. You must be, if you're moving, you must be traveling at an inconceivable speed. But there's no ship, no vessel, no nothing. And then the dark vastness of space begins to dimple almost. And the starscapes begins to warp and skew, and in an instant you're somewhere else. Which maybe space, or no, it's not space, but it's kind of this psychedelic rainbow swirl of colors. And colors in spectra you have never seen, that you shouldn't have the biological capability to see as humans. It's just so bright. It's so bright. It should be blinding you, but it doesn't. And this, Artemis might recognize as an astrogator, as jump space.
How? Can we talk? Like, what are we like?
You can talk. Yeah, sure.
My God,
is this-
it's full of stars.
How
I
is
was thinking, like, I did this at a Paul Oakenfold show.
I've been here before.
Whoever pulls out some glow sticks, like, oh, it's time.
I came prepared for this.
Okay, so do we have bodies, or is this consciousness?
You are.
Are we floating? Are we like looking at each other?
No, you're all kind of sharing the same consciousness right now. Roll. I don't even know what to have you roll. Any kind of science roll, maybe, or yeah.
Okay.
I'll do a jack of all trades education roll.
Great.
Can I do my astrogation or just a
Yeah,
science?
you can do astrogation if you want.
9.
Okay.
Puffer is convinced they fucked with his pudding cup.
Okay. He's just content to
He's
ride
blaming
this out.
Gigi.
That's an 11 when I include my education.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, you recognize this as jump space. Seth and I were talking about this before the show. Apparently, it's canon that some astrogators in their training have to look upon this. They have to kind of, and it should be blinding. And should kind of have a really trippy effect. But
It can make you sick and just you're looking
not
between
having-
universes.
Ordinarily, are there is it like blackout curtains like in a ship when you're traveling through it? Like there's no windows or anything. You don't look at it
It's
normally.
like shutters come down, and then a lot of the windows are also just really cool cameras, but the actual windows, they just shutter up.
Right. Okay.
There was a Riddick movie they did that in, where like they go into jump space and all these shutters would slide.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds familiar.
There's a great China medieval novel called Embassy Town, where the way you travel faster than light in that ship is also like a very psychedelic kind of and you have incredibly specialized training that also might kind of a science and kind of an art and is
It's
similar.
so funny. I think it all goes back to Dune. I think it all goes back to
Yeah.
Frank Herbert, where it's just like the psychedelic kind of experience, and that being how the navigators facilitate interstellar travel. It's like that idea goes back to that.
Thank God for the 60s.
So Artemis, with your role, you recognize this as jump space. You also recognize that like the one time you've maybe seen this, you were violently ill, or you reacted, your body reacted in such a kind of primal, physiological way, and it's not doing that here. And the feeling you all get is, if you had to make a guess, you are experiencing a memory of sorts, but from consciousness that's not human. So like this, like you are, and you don't have a form. Like you're not like, you don't like look down and see a body. You just kind of are energy. Is the best you can guess.
What is the meaning of this? Can you guys hear me?
You all seeing what I'm seeing, man?
But we're like thinking, like no one's talking. What a weird concept. We're all
can
like,
we hear each other?
I think if you were to speak, you like hear each other's thoughts. It almost is like you're like sharing a consciousness one day.
What's crazy is like, I think for Artemis, you guys hear like racing thoughts. Like she is thinking of her own memory of like being in school, seeing jump space, like feeling sick, talking with a friend about it, going to a party. Like she's just thinking about things in like stream of consciousness. So if you hear anything, it's just like, oh my God, it looks just like that time. I wonder what happened. I've never seen her again. But this doesn't feel like much like, it's just like constant chatter.
Puffers is like, oh my God, am I dead? Is this what death is like? What was in that pudding cup?
Shouldn't have had that pudding cup.
So after a moment, you see a ship. And you hear the faint sound of sirens outside in the streets of Brooklyn. Jesus. Anyway, you see a ship, but it's just
everything makes sense in a trip. Yeah, so okay.
It's all part of it. This is just a simple cargo hauler, and you are kind of aware of its crew. Like you're not looking at it, but something you're aware of the crew on board, just operating their stations and making repairs and eating meals and living out their week in jump space. And all of a sudden they're gone. And then things shift again, and you feel like you're experiencing a series of memories. You're starting to understand, like you kind of feel them all at once, but there is a sequence. Because you're not only experiencing what you like see and hear and feel, but almost like the emotion of it almost. And again, it's not a human set of emotions, so it's kind of hard to grasp, but you feel it more than you could articulate it. And you're experiencing a series of these jump spaces, and you're traveling somehow into jump space as various ships enter and exit and making their routine jumps across charted space. And all of a sudden, there's the Ellison. And then there's the Ellison again. And then there's the Ellison again, making jump after jump after jump. And you're intrigued. So you get closer. And now you're observing the officers and the crew, the people you've gotten to know on this mission. And of course, the people you didn't. You see Captain Montgomery, who's a tall, very clean-cut, classic naval officer look on the bridge. And this first executive officer, a man you suddenly know, though you haven't heard this name before, is Lieutenant Commander Hexar. And you see him lying awake in his quarters and unable to sleep in the isolation of this mission, just working on him and slowly destabilizing him. And you see Lieutenant Damon down working out in the cargo bay with Sub-Lieutenant Volman. And you see Chief Notso recording a series of video logs for her kids back home, and Lieutenant Commander Wilkes meticulously plotting jump after jump after jump. And then you see Lieutenant Commander Hexar resigning. Again, this is all happening, like you can feel the sequence, but it's kind of swirling at you. And you see Lieutenant Commander Yang arriving by covert transport and relieving him. And you're kind of roving throughout the ship, unseen, unnoticed, again, like you're almost like pure energy. And you're also kind of one with the ship. You start to like commune not just with the people, but with the mechanics. And there's this in the machines that you recognize are pushing this vessel into its pocket dimensions and in and out of space and time, these jump drives that they're calling them, a flaw. A flaw they don't seem to detect, and you know after you observe some more that they'll never detect it. It's just too deep and too tiny, and yet you can see the cascading possibilities of what will happen. This will eventually result in catastrophe and just total annihilation. And yet you feel there's nothing you can do. And you're filled, like as much as this surprises you with this deep, deep despair, you can feel you feel like you have immense power. Like you are power. That is what you are, and yet you also are helpless. But you also, you feel like you're interested in what's happening, and you're attached, and you don't want to leave, and you don't want to watch these beings end, and you don't want to leave them. You want to help them, but you can't help them. And then all of a sudden you're in Lieutenant Volman's cabin, and you're aware of something wrong in him. And you're conscious, if that's the right word, of every living being on the vessel, like every breath in and out, you feel it. And now, in the core of Lieutenant Volman, in his chest, something is gathering and clotting and constricting. And he staggers, and his fingers are gripping the back of his chair. And then you feel as his heart is starved of oxygen, and he just falls, gasping in pain. There's nothing you can do again but watch until he's gone. And then you make a decision. And suddenly you're almost like that thing that you are, that collection of things that you are almost merging with Volman in every single one of his cells, and you're pouring the energy that is you into this body that once was him. And you open your eyes as Volman, and for what feels like the first time ever, after a very, 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 very long time, you take a breath. And then you find yourselves back on the bridge of the Kate's Gambit.
Oh.
Perhaps you have questions.
Does this have anything to do with the Valtrex that we found in the closets? Ignore that question.
What was that? Let's start with the basics. What was that?
Was that? What are you and where are we?
I thought it easier to show you than to tell you. That was
you.
Yes.
But why?
And what the fuck are you?
That is an excellent question.
Good question.
A question I, myself, am not sure I can fully articulate. My people, we call ourselves the Lasai.
The Lasai.
We have been traveling from dimension to dimension to dimension for what you would call millennia. We have seen life before life in all manner of forms and definitions, and life in infinite number and variation. And we have stepped in to help, or so we thought. Because much in the way, perhaps, that your ancients did. But the effect of our help was far, far, far more destructive. And we have, in our arrogance and our attempts to influence the way of things, destroyed. We have, despite our best efforts, we are a destructive force. And so we, Lasai, disbanded and elected for ourselves a life of solitary wandering. And for thousands and thousands and thousands of years now, we have committed ourselves only to explore, only to observe. As I said, it's difficult to put into words.
Are we
Gigi's
still in
really
chump space?
rush.
Nope,
What?
you're back in regular space. You're
Okay.
you're on the bridge of
That's-
the Kate's Gambit.
That's actually what Puffer's asking.
Oh,
Are we in chump space?
no, you are not.
Okay, Gigi literally is angry at that moment. She's going to rush toward him and like say, so you're responsible for what's happened to this ship and all of us? This
You
is
can
your
make-
fault?
You could make that argument, but yes, but not in the way you mean.
So are we just your ant farm?
Something doesn't. I'm. Okay, so you found the ship. You took over Volman to save the ship from a disaster you felt was coming, that you sensed. I don't understand how you kept the ship suspended in time. And why? Why did you do that?
We are flawed beings, Lasai. Or I am a flawed being. And you would think that after all this time, the lives I encounter would feel much the same, and nothing would be new. But then yes.
I'm sorry. What is your name? What is your name? Well, who are you? What is your name? I know what you are. Not that you've told us, but what is your name? Who are you?
I do not have a name. I am Lasai. I am the Lasai. I am one of many, and I am one.
I'm trying very hard not to attack you right now because you've destroyed a lot of lives in an attempt to help us, and you're not giving us any idea of why, really.
I'm trying to explain. I encountered this ship in the jump space, and I began to watch, and I thought I couldn't. There is no possible way not to interfere. You are a remarkable life form. Violent, reckless, arrogant, and soft. Quick to slip into dysfunction, easily swayed by outright untruths. Capable of whims of cruelty and horror far greater than anything in my people's history. But also, you sacrifice for one another. You live for one another. You love and live with such intensity and for so brief a time. One cannot help but be swept up in the ragged jolt of your lives. And so, yes, I failed. After all these years, I could not bring myself to do nothing. I thought I might join you for a time. And with all of these people, I could not. I wondered if perhaps if I gave them a bit more time, maybe somebody would come along and help them. And I have, for the past 73 of what you would call years, I've been dipping the ship into and out of pocket dimensions like a needle through fabric, staggering the progression of time in hopes that I might give them a few more hours, a few more days, one more day. Of course, this is folly. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Did you kill Captain Montgomery? Was that an attempt to stop what you thought was going to happen? Did you take over Hempt and change the course of their history and their life and destroy someone else's in the process?
And you can see, this creature is not human, but at the same time, it's in Volman, and, you manipulate Volman, Volman looks, completely deflated by this. That perhaps is the greatest of my mistakes. I did think I might be able to help them. And when Hempt was running these routine processes, I attempted to influence her and perhaps set her and her compatriots on a course to repairing the drives, but Hempt is not like you. There was something different about her mind, and she resisted. And soon the captain was dead, and it was my fault. I just wanted to help, but as history keeps reminding me, there is no way to help. There is only the passage of time and the events within them.
So we were like a little experiment for you?
No, nothing like that. All I wanted was, this is a lonely existence, and I hoped for company.
You say the Ellison is doomed, correct?
Come again? Sorry.
You said the Ellison is doomed.
It's doomed, yes.
There's, you know what the flaw is. Could you tell us, or would we take these people off of the doomed ship and rescue them?
I can no longer interfere. My plan is to attend the service for all of the fallen crew people tomorrow, or It is today, actually. And you glance over at the time, and like that, whatever that vision was, it took you overnight. Like we've now. It is now.
Wow. We must be starving.
You must be starving.
And
tired.
Yeah.
Offer isn't.
He says, I will.
He got a little
Parker's been
something
eating
right
a-
before.
My pudding is all dry. And got that creepy skin on it. Like,
I shall attend the services, and then I shall depart, and submit myself to my people's judgment. And if oblivion awaits me, then perhaps I will take comfort in the fact that I am
what
as
happens?
flawed as you all are.
What happens when you depart?
Nothing. I have not been, ever since you arrived, I thought perhaps you might be the help the ship needs, and I have not been manipulating the ship's passage through time. You are in your own time. You always have been.
Well, does like Volman just drop to the floor and the ship explode? Like what? What
If
happens?
the ship enters a jump, it will implode.
But they're repairing the drives. I'm overseeing the repairs. I'm watching them.
You are limited beings. And you have not, as much as I have hoped, you have not been able to detect this kind of flaw. I will not help you. I'm sorry, I can do nothing further. If you choose to save the crew, as I hope, I cannot influence you either way.
So my last question, I mean, as lovely as a story as you were telling us, why should we believe anything you say right now?
And this makes him kind of smile. And he's like, I cannot tell you. This is what I have found so compelling about you. One of the things.
So you're gonna come in, cause craziness, and leave?
I am not the cause of this. I have aggravated things considerably, but the flaw is your own.
You've been living with the people on this ship. You've befriended them or gained their trust or made enemies, whatever. You've become partly human. Whatever that means to you, what we are. And you know the danger that the ship is in. We just fought mercenaries from a planet trying to destroy them. There's more on the way. And you know that. And you're leaving them to die. You're not helping them.
Perhaps that is one way to see it. Many places I have been, the universes I have seen. So many things are so interconnected. One thing affects another, affects another, affects another in ways one being cannot comprehend. I cannot interfere any further.
This can't be it. This can't be just the end. There's got to be something that we can do. And Gigi's gonna just look at Artemis and Philo and Puffer and like reach for his pudding cup. There's got to be something we can do here.
Do you care about these people like you claim? Do you actually care about them?
I care. More than I ever thought I would.
You don't care enough to tell them.
I'm telling you, and very few of you believe me. How do you think it would seem if I were to tell the crew of a warship?
They throw you in the brig, like yesterday.
If these people die and you say you care for them, then you didn't care for them.
I have been trying for decades to help them. I have not been able to do so. I believe I am a destructive force.
Why did Evelyn die in their cell? Was that you too?
I thought perhaps... No, there is no excuse. As I said, I am flawed, and he hurt so many of those I found that I cared for.
What is wrong with you? You pick and choose when you want to care about something? You come in and you ruin a bunch of people's lives? What the fuck is wrong with you? If I ever see the Lasai people, you said we're interconnected, well, you better fucking hope you don't run into humans in the future again.
You shall not see me again.
Good. That's what I said. I said it first. You're not smarter than us.
As you have it.
Oh, Gigi, hold me back. Hold me back, Gigi.
Gigi's gonna grab Artemis like, okay, Mr. Lasai, you're gonna jump ship, literally and take off. If you had to offer any advice whatsoever, what would it be if we were to attempt to fix this situation now? What could we do?
How could I possibly answer that for you? I am not you, and that may be our only salvation. That you would approach this in a way I would never conceive of.
We would approach it? You mean as actual humans, we would approach it differently than you?
Yes, that is my hope. But again, I cannot interfere.
You're saying that we, the four of us, may have the answer.
I do not know. This is something I've learned from your life form, is that the capacity for hope engenders interesting consequences. Come, if we wish to attend the service, we must go now. And he stands and just walks out of the bridge. Walks off the bridge.
We should. And he looks at the rest. He says, like, I'm trying to understand. I thank you for what you may see as an attempt to help us, a chance to foil our doom. And I wish to give you a gift in return before we continue on, before this ends.
Yes?
I wish to give you a name.
A name?
You have no individual name of your own. I wish to give you one.
All right. What will it be?
Shaquille.
Shaquille.
It is an ancient name, a storied one. I think it is fitting for one such as you.
I was trying.
I thought he was going to have some ancient name.
Really old name.
Yeah, or something.
Shaquille.
Yes. It is a
For
proud
some reason,
name.
I feel this suits me.
It is a warrior's name. For one who strives. I think it is a fitting gift at this our moment of parting.
I thank you, human. I
Good.
thank you for
We'll know what
this
to put on
gift.
your.
Yes.
We'll know what to put on your gravestone after this.
Yeah.
You are welcome, Shaquille. We will do our best to save ourselves and our new friends from this fate.
Come.
All right. Do you follow
Yeah.
Shaquille to the funeral?
Yes.
All right.
I was not planning on it.
Okay.
What were you gonna do?
However, where would you like to go?
So this is actually Puffer's view is we can either, get the hell out, because when this thing jumps, if we're on it or attached, we're dead. If they're jumping after the funeral, we're dead. So it could either be we could mess with this, the drives and take care of it. I can't think of any way to gas the whole crew unconscious, load them into low berths, wheel them on the Kate's Gambit, and fly away. Haven't been able to figure that one out. I was thinking about doing a vac suit walk and screwing with everything from the outside while everybody was doing their thing. Because they can't lock doors on me if I'm on the outside of the ship.
And actually, if we are able to save the crew, letting the ship go to jump and destroy itself would be a really effective way of
We complete our
scuttling the
mission,
ship and taking
but
it out of the equation.
Yeah, so nobody else gets it.
Right.
This is very much
Well,
like
they
breaking
we
my
could
toys.
mess with the life support. We could override the life support so it doesn't tell us that it's actually kind of messing with the oxygen levels, puts them to sleep, and then we could very quickly shuttle them into low berths or something.
Yeah,
That could work.
that could work.
Perfect.
We have room in the cargo bay. I mean, we could.
Oh yeah, I mean that ATV holds like 8 people.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Put their low berths in the ATV.
If we can get to the low berths aboard the ship, we could like you can wheel them. I mean they're big and clunky, but you can actually just wheel them. We could literally fill our cargo berths, our cargo
Yeah.
hold up with
Yeah.
rows and rows of
There.
frozen people.
I mean, at that point, just lower the oxygen, put them in their low berths, lower the gravity, and just push them. Just push them down the hallway.
That's-
Oh my god!
true,
Like
too.
what's that Olympic game? The broom and
The curling.
Oh,
the
curling.
Curling.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I've always wanted to
Or-
curl with naval people.
Curl them into our
We want to
cargo
curl
bay.
everybody into the cargo bay.
Or we ice luge. Everybody grabs a whole tank and you run and then just hop on and you just steer it down.
That sounds like a blast.
The Ellison's last day will be magnificent. Yeah. So Puffer would like to try to mess with the life support on if I can get to engineering to do it, or if I have to do this from the outside of the ship. Matthew, what do I need to roll to gauge what the best way of doing this is? Also, you guys, we're probably gonna want our vac suits or some
Yeah.
oxygen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot
I
of
would-
ship armor actually just does have oxygen mask instead of a full, because I'm not going to
Okay.
depressurize. But
Right.
So I would say roll naval tactics to see,
Ooh.
like, if they're doing a funeral, what kind of, like, what's the
What's the
standard
protocol?
procedure and protocol for keeping things guarded, and what what kind of that kind of roll. Naval tactics would be my guess.
and I'm scared you might need to help me here. I was evidently detained before I learned that part of my naval stuff. Where it's like, or like I think they put them in a torpedo and they shoot them, and Shatner gives a really good speech, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I remember. So yeah, 4.
4. Okay, Skid, are you gonna roll too?
Yeah. I'll roll. 11.
Okay. You would know, and you would guess, and based on where Volman is going, you know that the funeral will be held on deck 10 at the missile bay. And yes, they actually are going to shoot them out the missile tubes. Yeah, exactly.
Beings I haven't counted, the souls I haven't counted, his was the most human.
You know that even though this is the full crew is invited to attend, that does not mean there isn't a standard watch on all major stations. So engineering will be staffed. There will be plenty of people there. You could, you also know that if you open the airlock, someone would see, so either way,
Right,
they would
so
notice on the bridge.
I would actually want to, what I would like to do is mess with the sensors so no alarms go off, and literally start messing with oxygen, nitrogen levels we're going to put everyone to sleep slowly.
Okay.
Where we don't hit lethal. I hope I don't screw this roll up. I don't want to get lethal. But I would like to drop it in a way that they just fall asleep without alarms going off, going, oh my God.
All right. So I would
I
say
don't want to do what I've accidentally done, but on purpose.
I want to recreate the horrible accident that I've done in the
That horrible hangover accidentally
The
gave us all.
truth about your past comes out in this moment. You're like, it won't be like the last time. Not like the last time.
All right. So what I think you could do is get to engineering. So you would go to engineering. You would need to somehow gain access to a console. So you would need to persuade whoever is on watch there to give you access to a console. then I'm going to need a task chain. I'm going to need a medic check to help guide you in what the proper oxygen level should be. And then it'll just be either computers, electronics, or mechanic for you to manipulate the levels and such that you can put everyone to sleep.
Okay. Now, this is also a very important question, guys. We need to go down memory lane about that time that we did this before.
Right.
Yes.
And got all the skills that we need to do this.
Right.
Yes.
Because
There was that time
there was that time.
on that planet. I forget the name.
Rigel 7.
I forget the
Yes.
time.
On Rigel 7.
7.
It's when Gigi's hair was short. So that's my
Yes.
time frame when you had that
Yeah.
short hair, Gigi.
Right. That was back.
Great
Because
look.
I was
I had
dating
those
that guy that wanted me to
sideburns.
look like that.
Yes.
Right,
yes, yes.
right.
And, oh God.
He was a
yeah.
mess.
He was a mess. It is good that you left him there. That
You're
is
better
you made the right
without him,
choice.
girl.
Yeah. I beat his ass in public. It was embarrassing, but
For him, I mean, you looked cool
Yeah.
as hell. I just gotta
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
All right,
The
but
other-
about what we were doing.
The
We
other
knew
thing
how to
I
do
would
this.
say is that your absence at the funeral would be conspicuous.
Right.
But just his absence, we would still be at the funeral.
Well, you're probably gonna need 2 people.
I'll
to do
go.
the task chain.
I'll go to the.
Oh,
I'll go to the funeral.
All right.
I'll go to the funeral.
I have an English accent, so
Wait. Oh.
I'll go.
Yeah, you should go to the funeral. But okay, so wait, shouldn't the person who goes with Puffer have like something?
Yeah, you
Life
medic.
support engineering would be real handy. I've got engineering,
Oh.
but I don't have
I have a 2
life
in
support, so
engineering.
I'd be doing engineering life support 0. So
I would let you roll. I would let you roll medic. Oh,
I
you're
got
saying
medic 1,
But
but
engineering life
because
support.
engineering is broken into all the subs. I've got J drive, M drive, all the others I have 0. I don't. My life support 0. I go by my education. It's just 1. I mean,
you
Oh,
have jack of all trades.
no. I mean, I could make a shiv.
You have engineering, right?
I do 2 in engineering, and I have a 0 and a Jack of T.
But I think
I have
your
animals as
engineering
well.
is your engineering specifically jump drive or J drive or M drive.
My electronics is computer. Oh, I don't have engineering. Yeah, I don't have
Oh.
engineering at all.
I actually have. I wonder why do I have engineering? Maybe it's because I was
It was the bus driver,
know,
right?
That's right.
Bus driver? It was
No, I wasn't a bus driver. No.
Got hit by a
wrong.
bus.
He got hit by a
I was hit
bus.
by a
What,
bus.
it wasn't a bus
I-
mechanic that you.
No, I was living with a certain
Professor.
being. Yes, the professor, one of Artemis's
professor.
professors.
One of my professors.
Professor, and that's how we met. Basically, he was a shipbuilder, and in living with him, he gave me a small job. After life on the commune, I was welcome to that, and I learned
Wait,
a bit.
did you get mechanic from him or engineer from him?
I got engineering from him and both from him, I think. Oh no,
Okay.
I got mechanic from when I left, and I was sort of doing stuff on my own, hit jobs and stuff like that. I never got caught though. You didn't hear that.
All right. So, who wants to do Puffer? Do you want to use your connections rule to get yourself engineering life support?
I've used 1 connections rule to get drive earlier.
With Gigi.
Did I use? I honestly don't remember. Did I use my second one yet?
I don't think you did it.
I don't think so.
I don't
We
think any
haven't
of
really.
us.
No.
I don't think any of us.
through the
have.
last night.
Yeah,
But
we've
have,
talked about it.
A
But
number of you have it because it's always Seth who's like, "Well, we could remember that one time." And you're like, oh yeah.
yeah, Seth is the other one who remembers that that's a thing in this game ever. So,
But I mean, Seth, what do you call it? Puffer just did like open heart surgery and stuff.
Oh.
He's basically a doctor now.
Well, that's just because I had medic 1 and my dice were very nice to me.
I took a teamwork Naval Tactics 1. I got as a team.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
true. I remember that.
Nice.
So Seth? We'll just rule. You can, if you want to use it to get engineering life support 1. That tracks for me.
I'll take it because so I've got the medic 1, engineering life support 1. If we'll have to take care of whoever is on watch. I mean, I've got stun fist, high five. But if somebody
Too
more
slow.
competent would like to help me with that, but we also might need to lock everyone in that room. That way we can, if anybody panics because they realize they're getting dizzy, we'll just sleep.
All right. So the plan is, Puffer, who's coming with you? Gigi or Artemis?
Who wants to maybe accidentally kill everybody?
I feel like I should go to the funeral to show face, but also because I have like a friendship with Arturo now, and I feel like it would be weird if he
might be
notices
like,
that I'm not.
Where's my hottie?
He's gonna be looking for me. I mean, he's gonna be looking for me.
Yeah.
All right. So Gigi and Philo go to the funeral. Artemis and Puffer are going to go to engineering, where they're going to attempt to sweet talk.
Wait a minute.
Reverse. Other way around. Sorry. Gigi and Puffer are going to engineering. Artemis and Philo are going to the funeral. In engineering, Gigi and Puffer are going to sweet talk their way up to a console, and then perhaps attempt to lower the oxygen levels on the ship in such a way that they will render everyone unconscious and then transport them in low bursts onto the Kate's Gambit, scuttle the ship, and save everyone. That's the plan.
That's all we can do.
That's so
all we can do.
simple.
So simple.
Also, Ed,
What could go wrong?
We'll need comms. You guys will need some sort of emergency oxygen. And I'll need you, in case it happens, to manage to get the door locked so nobody can get out of the funeral.
Lock the gates! All right.
Yes.
One list to Mark Maron.
You have a plan,
It's a bad plan.
and we'll see what happens after the break.
Okay.
Welcome back. Okay, so in our ad break, we did discover something. So, Alicia, do you want to talk about it?
I do have a life support engineering, and it comes from the fact that I was basically part of putting together a commune and making sure people could exist and live in different planets. That's actually what she studied in school, so that's why I'll be going down with Puffer.
So you'll end up making the engineering life support role, which will be the final role.
Oh God.
Puffer, you'll do the medic role as part of a task chain before that.
I am so happy that pressure's off and I could just pass that pressure to Alicia. Thank you.
All right.
You know what?
So here's we're
Save
gonna
everybody.
We're gonna cut
Right.
back and forth between the two scenes. So we'll start at the funeral. So Artemis and Philo, you follow Sub-Lieutenant Volman in, or being you now know as Shaquille of the Lasai. And yeah, the officers and crew, like the bulk of them, have gathered at the fore of Deck 10 and set the missile bays. And Captain Yang is standing before 7 coffins, each laid out in front of a missile tube. And the other officers and crew are all standing at attention before her. And she takes a moment and she looks up and starts making eye contact as she delivers her eulogy. Which is, everyone on this boat volunteered for this mission. Every one of you has chosen to be here for your worlds, for the Imperium, for each other. And of course, when we accept this mission, we know it may be our last. We know that we have pledged our lives in service of something greater, for the preservation of peace, for the protection of those we love, and the lives we will never know. The people we do not know exist. We stand for them no matter the cost. And she looks out over the coffins. Jaren Cole, Nord Elim, Simon Oldine, Jonna Freed, Pax Said, Willa Hempt, and Bruno Wilkes gave what one ancient Terran leader called the last full measure of devotion for the sake of our mission. And from there, we'll go down to engineering.
Can we not? Okay.
Wait, but also, real quick, Matthew, Hempt died
Hemp died.
in the fight?
She was sprung from the brig for the engineer for help in the repair.
I was going to ask because I never saw her in the brig. So
Yeah.
You guys never wanted to talk to her.
Oh.
We
wonder-
wanted to, but
She
then,
died from our
I don't know,
neglect.
people attacked
She
the ship.
died of neglect.
She died of PC neglect.
She died of lonely PC neglect. Shit.
Yeah, she was sprung to help in the repair, and then she actually took up arms and was killed in the firefight. Yeah. Well.
Well, fuck that one up.
The
Artemis
only
whispers
one of
to
you
Phi-
that could resist the psionic efforts of the Lasai.
Artemis whispers to Philo. Oh, we really fucked up. We were supposed to talk to him, weren't we?
Oh, right.
She died?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
wow. That's a surprise.
Damn it.
I was talking to Joe on the most recent Can Fodder I was on about. He was asking about what the effect of writing something and then getting to play it, and I was like, there's a lot of stuff I backstories that I worked on that they just never wanted to interact with. Which I'm not holding as a grudge or anything, but
Sorry, Matthew.
I might murder a PC just because you know
I know how frustrating that can be.
this was always going to be her story unless you interfered in some way. So it is your fault. Anyway, back in engineering, Puffer and Gigi, you come to the door and it is locked.
Okay.
You're gonna have to hack the lock to get in.
Didn't think of that, did you?
Okay.
It'll be electronics computers.
Okay. Well, this is what Puffer does. So I have my my computer, then my little suit that I can do this with. Would my intrusion program give me a +1 because I have intrusion?
Sure.
Okay, and I will.
Would you want that or a boon? Would you maybe you could get a boon instead for that?
I'll take whatever I can get.
Take a +1.
Okay. And then with whoever is in there, Gigi, if we need to, I have my stun gun fist, but I would prefer if we could just get them to not interfere as quickly as possible. If we can dupe them into leaving, or what? Do we have any ideas?
Gigi's gonna turn to Puffer and grab him by the shirt and pull him closer and say, Puffer, this was your idea, all right? I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea, but it's still your idea. So I need you to know what the heck is happening here, okay? Just in general. I'm here to help you because I believe in you, but at the same time, I want to kick your ass. And she's gonna shove him backwards.
Gigi is such an insane crewmate to have.
I love Gigi.
My mom said the same thing when I went off to college.
All right, I think it's a good plan, but it's your plan.
I don't want to kick your ass.
Kick your ass.
Okay, I will try to unlock the door.
All right.
9.
Okay. Yes, you were able to hack the door, and the door to engineering slides open. Meanwhile, back at the funeral, the captain is still continuing. May we learn from their sacrifice and rededicate ourselves to the great and terrible and often invisible responsibility that we all share. In the name of their memories, in the name of the many systems and souls. And you, at this moment, you notice her eyes fall on you, Artemis, and you, Philo. We have sworn to protect. Meanwhile, back in engineering. All right, you walk in, and it's not a full crew. It wasn't like when they were doing the massive repairs, but there's still a detail, and Lieutenant Damon is there. He's supervising the repairs to the jump drive.
I should have went there.
So there are consoles about. You know your way around engineering by now. But if you were to just walk up to a console, you probably would get notice. So do with that information as you may.
Okay.
You will, as you may.
I say we walk in just like really supposed to be here. Maybe nod to Damon. And let's talk to him.
All right.
This can't go.
You go up to Damon. Oh, hey. I thought you would be at the service. I wish I could go, but the captain ordered me to stay here, and we got to finish the repairs, so we got to make the jump as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, actually, since I finally got allowed to go to the museum, but we were able to get our tools. So So we want to see if there's anything we can do to help that out, because the jump's going to be immediate. We didn't want to do anything like that. And I'm happy you're here. Arnos is looking forward to seeing you at the funeral. I think she's, So,
What's her story, by the way?
Oh, that is a long one, but I tell you what, I don't think it's my place to give that.
Okay.
I tell you what, though, if this is all,
I'm not the guy that you should be asking about my own story.
Tell him I'm
not
cool.
the expert.
If everything is good, why don't you? I can cover this if you want to go and see her.
No,
that's Missile Bay.
That's very sweet, man. But I'm here under captain's orders. I can't just abandon my post. that would be insane. Yeah. But anyway,
what are you talking about, Damon? I mean, and Gigi's short, so she's just sort of step around and say, "What are you talking about?" I mean, the captain's not going to fault you for wanting to attend this service, and at the same time, you can get to sort of, rub shoulders with someone you find attractive. I mean, it's a bonus, but it's not like you're going to get in trouble. And besides, she's going to just shove Puffer and say, I mean, you got someone here who's well qualified who can take over for you while you're gone.
Oh, no. I really appreciate the offer, but I maybe you all aren't familiar with, chain of command things, but she literally could throw me in the brig for leaving this post. So I do have to finish. I appreciate it. But thank you for the tools thing. That's super sweet of you. Right, I think we're in pretty good shape, honestly. He's like looking around. He's like, I think everything's going on. We're on schedule. So
how many people are on a detail?
What's that?
How many people are on a engineering detail?
How many people?
I'm gonna roll 2D to answer that question.
Oh my god!
This is gonna be bad.
7 people, including Dan.
Oh shit. Okay.
And they're sort of spread out that way.
They're all kind of working on the drives. They're all over, and some of them are waving, but then they get back to their work.
So, are there consoles that are kind of out of the way? That my idea is if I could get him to come with me, Stunfist, and then allow me to work on the computer.
How are you going to get him to come with you?
Okay. Yes. So we can do this.
I might need his fingerprints.
So we'll need a persuade to get him to come with you to the console, and then I'll need a stealth to get yourselves to a console that's unseen. That's the thing. I'm sure you could find one, but let's do a stealth so you don't attract attention.
Right.
So who's going to do the persuade roll, and then what do you say?
Me? What am I supposed to say to persuade him?
Charming.
You led a whole cult. Lead
did.
of one man to a console.
Why do I hear Philo in my head?
We should probably bring his attention to some of the stuff over on the power plants or something over here. Like, hey, did you notice this?
Lieutenant Damon.
Yeah.
You seem to know a lot about computers. There's a few things that I don't really know. I was wondering if there's something that maybe you, being the big, strong, science, engineering, astrogation man flying a spaceship, could explain to me. Just, over there. Look over there, quick. Over there.
All right, roll persuade, and we'll see how he responds to that.
Look.
This is a bad idea, Puffer, and it's your idea again. I don't have persuade. Okay.
You can use Jack of all trades.
Yeah, use Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or rather, you reduce the penalty.
Right.
Oh, please. 9.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, I mean, I'm just an engineer, but I'm sure I'd be able to, show you a few things. Here, come over to this console. And he gestures to one that's out in the open.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Puffer. What does this button do?
Okay, if she's distracting him and pulling his attention, Puffer might just take that opportunity to try to stealth away. Like,
All right.
okay, that's not what I was expecting, but got his attention. I would like to stealthily slip away and do the devil's work.
Roll your stealth. Seven.
He trips and falls and
Yeah, like knocks over a mop or something.
Meanwhile, back at the funeral, the captain is finishing, and she says, "We thank them now and commit them to the great and final sleep, so that they may rest in the vast." And with that, she nods, and crew members from the front line all step forward in perfect unison. And they lift the coffins and slide them into the missile tubes and load them and shut the doors. And the captain turns and salutes the coffins, and the entire room, like in exact unison, joins her. And then the captain, you can tell her voice is like she's really struggling, but her voice is still steely, still badass. And she says, "Fire!" And the coffins are launched out into space. And you can see them through the ports and the missile tube doors, like the one that Damon showed Artemis to look out at the stars. And you see them kind of just rocketing toward the system's gas giant. Meanwhile, back on engineering, Puffer tries to slip away. And Lieutenant Damon says, "Oh, hey, where are you going? Do you need something?"
Well, yeah, I was actually just wanting to check the diagnostics before we go, because I don't want to make sure that the cape being attached to the ship is going to be able to throw off the balance when we enter the jump bubble. Because if we have an oblong jump bubble, that can cause all sorts of problems. I mean, we got 200 tons that are hanging off the side that your ship wasn't expecting before we did a jump. So I just want to verify that everything on that is looking good, because we don't want an oblong bubble.
Roll persuade.
Man, that sounds
Nice.
totally
Sad
reasonable
on
to me.
this one.
Yeah, I don't want an oblong bubble.
Take a boon on that, because that was
Yeah, get a boon.
a great use of technobabble.
Yes.
Techno babble.
Holy God for the boon! Okay. Are we doing social or intellect?
Yes.
Okay.
Social.
Okay. Well, that's no plus there. 11.
Hey, that's awesome.
That's pretty great. And
Nice.
he's like, oh yeah, I mean,
Cause a
Wilkes, I
wobble.
mean,
Yeah.
you heard about Wilkes, right? You heard?
Oh.
Yeah, the surgery, I guess, went well, but then last night, so late last night, he coded. He's
Oh my God.
yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, so we're running, not with a full complement of our astrogation crew. So actually, it's good that you thought of that. So would you mind? Yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you. You can check that. That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to make sure, because yeah. So I'll just log in.
All right.
Okay.
What's going on back at the funeral?
Yes.
The funeral's now breaking up, and what do you guys do?
Wait, our plan is to keep people in the room, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna start like Philo's. I have something I'd like to say.
And Artemis, as Philo says it, Artemis.
And like everyone kind of like turns, and they've already launched the coffins out into space, and
Artemis says, we may have only recently boarded your ship, and I'd like to think joined your crew in a way. But this is a hard thing on all of us. Philo, go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry, and I'm like gesturing to Artemis to like support me. Like I'm very visibly emotionally like overwhelmed. And
Philo, go. Do you want me to say it?
no, I just hold my hand, please. Just be there for me, please. Just be there.
I got you. And she holds his hand with both her hands, like kind of patting it, and she's like, "It's really hard on all of us when we lose ones we care about. I know I've made friends," and she looks around the room at no one who is her friend. She's like, I know I've made friends with many of you. Philo, go ahead.
Your devotion to duty and the principles that the Empire holds dear. I'm sorry. To see someone lost the prime of life. And he just starts like sobbing. And he starts like hyperventilating.
Oh my god.
And so he goes into his like survival bag and like he pulls out an oxygen mask, like a survival mask, like, and he just like starts like making his way through the crowd towards the door.
What would you like to roll?
Naval tactics.
All right. If you can make a case for why you're rolling naval tactics, I will let you roll it.
It's the speaker gambit. This is something we learned at the academy for disrupting funerals. And no, actually, all right. Let me see here. I think I'll just do a.
You want to just do a social standing roll?
Yeah, I'll just do a social standing. Natty 12.
Hey!
Boxcars.
Hey!
All right.
Boxcars.
Your speech and raw display of emotion seems to visibly move some of the people in the audience, some of the crew. That you would feel so deeply about, and they don't notice your oxygen mask.
Okay, so I grab Artemis by the hand and break for the door, sobbing. I want to like just get on the other side of the door, close it immediately, and then block it. Okay,
you break for the door. Meanwhile, down in engineering.
Do I press the red button?
So Puffer, you're gonna roll the medic. You can roll the medic check, and that will task chain. Then we somehow need to get Gigi at a console where she can roll her engineering check. But first roll your medic check now that you have access to the console.
Okay. Because it'll have to be like setting the. Okay.
You're like doing the calculations for like number of people on board, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so 9, 10.
10. Okay, this was going to be a difficult check, so you hit it exactly.
Awesome.
All right, so the thing is that now, how are you going to get Gigi to be able to engineer this to happen?
Okay. I actually want to just pull Gigi over. She's obviously, she knows the lingo. She's got a wrench.
That's right. Look at her.
And be like, Gigi, I need you to look at this, but also double check my numbers because, a good engineer, somebody should double check us. So it's like, kind of call her over, say, could you just look at this, make sure everything that I'm doing is correct. We don't want to have that problem like last time.
Oh yeah, I remember you were telling me about this. This gives me an opportunity to practice some of the things you told me. Okay, and
Lieutenant Damon walks over with you, like just eager puppy dog, like eager to see what you're working on.
Okay.
I don't like to be watched, Lieutenant Damon. He makes me nervous.
Actually, I want to step back and say, hold on. Actually, I basically want to kind of give we double check each other. We don't want to influence because it's also, we kind of help train each other. It's kind of the thing with the 2-person engineering crew. We do that. It's just.
All right, roll perspective.
Look over there.
It sounds, again, totally reasonable. Yeah, look over there. That's.
Is there anything? I got a 7. Is there anything I could add?
You're tripping over console.
He's like, no, I mean, I get it, but yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, why don't you want me to look at the console?
Because I don't want you to. I don't want her to see any reaction off you. Give her any sort of tips because that's a good way to influence her into an answer if she sees it on your face. Because you're obviously more schooled. She's going to be looking at you, and if you give an unconscious nod or is there anything you're looking at, that could give her a tip. So actually, I just don't want to let her look at it, and then we can look at it beside her.
Yeah.
Got it. And at that
Isn't this how they
moment,
taught you in the academy? That's me.
he gets a call on his commute. He's like, just excuse me 1 second.
Oh yeah. Step away.
yeah, step away.
Meanwhile, back on at the funeral, you guys reach the doors. And what do you do?
If we could just walk through them and then lock them from the other side, I think that's the plan. Do we know that's a possibility? I would have assumed we scouted it before.
You'd have to, you'd have to hack the system, but you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you open the doors and just walk out as if you just overcome.
Yeah, and I think we're doing like Artemis is now in on it. She understands what's going on. She's like, sorry. It's too much.
Okay.
So you have electronics, right?
Yeah, and I have electronics computer, so I can hack.
Yeah, hack the door.
At
Hack
that
the
moment,
planet.
however, when you open the door,
Ooh,
Oh no.
you open the door to come face to face with a battalion of the ship's Marines who have their weapons drawn and are pointed at you. And meanwhile, down in engineering,
Am I doing this right, Puffer? No,
Gigi goes to the console to start to begin her check, and all of a sudden, Lieutenant Damon has his sidearm drawn. And he goes, "Step away from the console, please."
Stun fist.
All right,
Oh.
roll for initiative.
oh my god.
Wow. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god. Let me see what initiative
Wow.
is.
And you can roll intellect or dex.
Roll with X.
What'd you get?
5.
8.
Okay.
Oh.
8. Okay.
Not good. Not bad.
All right. Oh gosh. Okay. Damon rolled a 12. We'll get into this. But all right. So Damon sees you raising your stun fist, and he points his weapon directly at your face, and he hits a panic button on his
Oh no.
on his comm.
Oh shit.
Oh.
And
Okay.
a similar battalion of Marines comes rushing into engineering. To explain why this is happening, because you all have been rolling rather well. However, I'd like to take you back to episode 4. Hold on, let me just confirm with my notes here. This was when you were rolling to forge the documents to prove that you could get on the ship.
The fruit roll up.
As you recall,
Fruit roll up.
Yep.
Sydney, you had the final roll,
Yeah.
and Gigi rolled first and gave a +2 effect to Seth's roll, who gave a +2 effect to Skid's roll. Skid, however, rolled a 5 and gave Artemis a -1 to her roll to finish the forgery of the documents. That was a difficult check, and you rolled a 9.
Oh, just missed it.
So you just missed it.
Yeah.
Because of me.
Fun.
And after your conversation with the captain, she decided to have the documents reanalyzed, and she noticed that they were
It's
forgeries.
a fruit roll up.
Oh.
You noticed it was a fruit roll up, didn't she?
She licked it and she was like, wait a second, these aren't documents at all. This is a fruit roll up.
Raspberry.
Raspberry.
When you guys did that, when you guys made that roll, I was so happy. I was like, I'm gonna fail them forward like 7 episodes.
You were so evil!
Wow. Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
So yeah,
Brutal.
so Puffer, Damon takes a few steps away from you with his gun trained on you, and is just like, I will shoot you. I will fire. And the Marines are rushing in to back him up. Their carbines and assault weapons trained on you as well. It is your let's hold there. Go back to Philo and Artemis. What do you two do?
I look at the Marines and like, you're missing the funeral. You missed it. It's your last chance.
And Captain Yang steps forward and says, Your theatrics aside, your treachery will no longer affect anything that happens on the ship. She looks to the crowd of her officers and crew. And says, we have all let these interlopers board our ship and pretend to befriend us. They are working against the Imperium.
What?
Marines, to the brig. And the Marines kind of swarm at you and arrest you. Meanwhile, back on engineering, what? Puffer, it is your turn.
Okay. How close is he to me?
What's that? Sorry.
How close is he to me?
You would need to take a move action to get to him.
Don't hurt him.
I would like to look around. I've got my stun fist going. If I could dive and screw this place up as hard as possible. Look, if they arrest us and we jump, we're dead. So Puffer's like, I'm in the heart of this thing. I know how to wreck this.
So you want to.
So if I could get that gun away from him, I'll start shooting reactors or jump drives. Or,
Okay.
Or if I could just wreck it.
All right. So you're gonna take him for your minor action. You'll move up to him, and your significant action will be
Disarm?
make it a disarm, which would be what, a melee attack.
Unarmed. I got that, man. I used to disarm people back.
Oh yeah, got those prison moves.
Yeah. Go ahead and do an unarmed.
Rusty on my prison moves. 8 exactly.
If you were trying to hit him, I would give it to you, but you're trying to disarm. I made that difficult, so you do not get the gun away from him. Gigi, it is your turn.
Okay, I was gonna do something, but I guess I'm not gonna do it since, Pepper's moonwalking around the engineering. Okay, so I'm standing there. The dude has his gun. Damon has his gun trained on both of us. Puffer, just like that, sort of.
I mean, Damon is now involved in a struggle with Puffer. However, there are Marines in engineering with their weapons trained on you as well.
Okay, listen. We do not want any trouble whatsoever. We are actually sent here to save you. And that's what we're trying to do now. That's actually what we're trying to do. We just know that you won't believe us, and that's why we kind of did things sort of behind your back-ish. But we're trying to help, and I can prove it if you just let me go to the funeral.
Okay, roll persuade.
I can prove it if you just
Let me go to the funeral.
I will tell you, this is going to be a formidable task because the captain has briefed the Marines on the forgery.
They're predisposed to not listen to you at this point, I think.
What am I gonna roll? Persuade. Plus anything?
Plus your social.
I don't have anything in social. All right. 9.
Oh,
That's natural 9? Or
Yeah.
with the final, or that's with all of your bonuses.
Oh, my jack of all trades would make it 10.
Yeah, it's still a fail, unfortunately.
Even with your social? Don't you have good social?
I should, right? But I don't. I don't know what happened. No, you know what? I don't have good social because that's why I ended up getting kicked out of the con. Remember, I got canceled, and that's why I got kicked out of the con.
right.
Yeah.
Forgot you got canceled.
yeah, I forgot about that.
For colonialism, basically, you know.
I am going to fast forward us through this. The Marines rush in, they tackle you, Puffer, and they arrest you both. And now there's a motorcycle driving by, and now you're all
In the ship?
No, in my apartment. It's incredibly loud.
That's it.
I'm riding the mute button, but it's loud. Anyway, so we'll fast forward, and now the 4 of you are locked in the brig in the same cell that one Evelyn Jones was in before he died.
Ooh.
That didn't work.
No,
Yeah.
and now we all have to share a toilet.
There is no toilet in here.
Oh, well, that's good.
No, that's worse, Philo.
No, it is worse. You're right. Damn.
Hey,
Yeah.
we need to speak to Captain Yang or Lieutenant Volman. We need to speak to Lieutenant Volman.
Yeah, find
Bowman.
us Lieutenant Bowman.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
There's a marine guard standing there, and he just looks at you and he's like, "Yeah, we all want to talk to the captain."
What does that mean?
That doesn't make any sense.
Bowman.
Why do you want to talk to the captain?
I'm told not to let you see anyone.
What's
Those
your
are my
name?
orders.
Sorry, I didn't get to meet you from our time being on the ship. What's your name?
My name?
Yep.
Do
Shaquille?
do I recognize this guy? Remember, I was trying to endear myself to those Marines.
Oh yeah, he was
you-
put all the effort in to get
Held that
the.
hand
That's
hard,
true.
man. And then I let him
All
die.
right,
But
yes.
I
Well, here,
held
I'll
this
roll a
hard.
die. Evens, you recognize him. Odds, you don't. Evens, you recognize him.
Okay.
All right, yeah, this is Brad.
Like, I basically always say, like, Brad, I've tried to take care of you. If there's anything that, if we actually had any malice, do you think I would have tried to help you guys? We would have fought beside you guys. There is something the captain needs to be aware of, and we need her and Volman. Not just Volman.
Captain says you were caught trying to sabotage our jump drives.
As
No.
if the ship jumps, we're dead.
We're doomed.
That's what you don't understand. They're already sabotaged. They're ruined. There's no way to repair them.
The ship jumps, we're dead. On the
The
bright
ship jumps,
side,
you're dead. We're all
we
dead.
won't have time for me to say I told you
doomed.
so. We'll just be dead.
Roll persuade.
Can I aid?
Yeah, sure.
I got exactly an 8.
Okay,
Which is
you got
Oh,
me.
okay.
It's sucky.
Yeah.
Roll. You Artemis? You roll, and we'll see if the task chain modifies.
10.
Okay. All right. You can see Brad softens a little bit. He's so frustrated, and he just like gets on the comms, and you see him muttering through a little bit, and then before too long, Captain Yang arrives. I was told you have information that I should know.
Captain, we shouldn't
Here's
we
Volman.
shouldn't have tried to trick you. I know it's impossible for you to trust us. I know it was hard enough to trust us at the beginning, but the jump drives are compromised beyond repair. You won't be able to fix them. You won't be able to jump at all. And everyone on the ship will die, including us.
You have done nothing since you came aboard but lie.
I helped people out. We fought. We put our lives at risk.
Yes, of course you did. Your lives were at stake. I don't know who you're working for, but I do know you came here deliberately to distract us from the mission. Undermine the work
Here's
the
Volman.
ship does.
Ask Volman.
Volman is dead.
What?
Yeah. How did
From
he
a heart
die?
attack.
How did you know that?
It's the same way Evelyn died, no?
No, he had a heart attack.
a
Evelyn
heart
died of a massive cerebral. Jones died of the mercenary died of a massive cerebral hemorrhage. Have you been involved in Volman's death as well?
No.
The only reason I haven't airlocked the four of you already is because I'm going to turn you in myself. Because I think there might be
chance of
valuable-
surviving if you airlocked us. Captain, you need to understand. Was there at any point Volman started acting different?
Everyone on the ship has been under an extreme amount of stress.
No. Someone else in Volman's body differently. Not stress. Changes in behavior, mannerisms, ability to speak to you certain ways he looked at you.
He got a bit quieter at a certain point. But
quieter?
the captain had died. Of course, people reacted to that in different ways. How? I don't know why I'm entertaining this. I'm needed on the bridge. We have a jump.
Captain,
Captain.
if you want to turn us in, fine, so be it. We would be happy to talk to the Imperium because we were actually sent here on a mission. That was not a lie. Our story will cover itself. We have no problem going to the military. But you cannot jump, or we'll never make it. You can scuttle the ship. Take us back, we don't care. But you cannot use the jump drives.
Would you all care to make a persuade roll?
Yeah.
I'll let
Yeah.
What else can we do?
Gigi,
No
or if you
enthusiasm.
want to use a different line of argument, like if you wanted to try to explain, I don't know, use naval tactics or engineering, if you had an engineering argument to try to
Yeah.
enhance this.
She understands jump technology because the captain was what was it? Was she a scientist?
She is an engineer.
Yeah, she was an
Engineer?
engineer before
Okay.
she took over.
I have personally reviewed the jump drives myself. Lieutenant Damon assures me they're operational. I assure you they're operational. We will be jumping henceforth. Goodbye.
Captain,
Yes?
what would we have to gain? What would we have to gain by sabotaging this ship?
Again, you have to gain. You're undermining the Imperium mission. The Imperium's mission. You've been working to sabotage us since the beginning.
All right. I know you think we're lying. I know you think we're a piece of shit. And I know you think we're making things up. But what if we're not?
What if we are not pieces of shit? Think about that.
You're the acting captain. You've already had 7 people die. What if we're not lying?
All right, roll persuade. Let's do a task chain. Let's go in the reverse order that you spoke. So let's do Philo, then Gigi, then Artemis, then Puffer.
All right. Yes, Captain, you have to at least entertain the possibility that we are not pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And in fact, we have gotten some very pertinent information about this situation from one Shaquille O'Neal Jr. 7.
Okay.
I don't know why that wouldn't be persuasive.
I think the Shaquille O'Neal thing set us back.
All right, so Gigi, you take a -1 to this roll.
I know. So I can't add anything. I can't add. Well, I don't have social, so
Yeah, this would
Can we
be
have a
social.
drink? Maybe we can carouse a bit with her. Okay.
Yeah,
let's
no,
see.
sorry.
All right.
Let's get
Come
her
on,
drunk.
Come on. Exactly.
Carouse is
Okay.
probably our best group skill. I think we can do very well.
We just have a couple drinks, Captain. Just kidding.
Yeah, let's discuss this over some vodka.
Actually, this should be a -2. I'm sorry. -2.
What? Minus
Yes.
2?
Yeah,
Why?
Me. Because of me.
because of Skid.
All right.
Because
Captain,
I
I'm just
mentioned
asking you
one
to-
NBA Hall of Famer, and now everything's gone to hell.
You just break the fiction.
started thinking less of us. I just asked you, Captain, to think beyond the realm of your own experiences for a minute. Think, like, why we would be here? Why we would be sabotaging this ship and basically destroying our own credibility? Why would we risk getting shot by legions of Marines? We know we're surrounded. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. 6.
Oh no.
Okay.
The mission is doomed.
So, Sid, you're going to take a -4 to this roll.
Oh
Okay,
man.
can I real quick, instead of doing like a social argument, because she was like, do you want the death on your hands type of thing, I'm gonna real quick add in, Captain, I am an astrogator. I'm gonna go with my education, so I'm just adding this tidbit in so I can roll a little bit better than a -4. Captain, I'm an astrogator. As are you. You understand
I'm an
jump
engineer.
space. Well, you understand jump space. You said you looked yourself. Jump space, jumping is still not entirely understood, and you know that. we break contact to the universe. There are so many variables involved. The fact is, there is an undetectable flaw. You will not find it. I'd ask you to look again, but I trust you. I trust that you think you are doing the right thing. But there are things bigger than us. There are things larger than human error, and there has been a lot of human error recently. I don't know what more I can say.
I'm still gonna make you roll social for that.
Oh, damn it!
I feel bad. I had meant to roll naval tactics, and I rolled social instead. And that would have changed everything.
Well, at least you still rolled pretty poorly, Skid. So it's
All right.
a collective failure at this point. But it still might be fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's... I rolled a natural 8, -1 for my social, so that's a 7. -4?
Minus
So that's
15.
a solid 3
That's a 3.
that I did. And then I take out my Gauss pistol and I shoot myself in the foot after I talk to him.
Grab through the
shoot
bars,
us
grab
into
the
space.
captain's
Yeah.
sidearm.
I'm sorry, it can only be -3. So yeah, it's actually not a -4. It's -3.
Cool, so that's a 4.
Yeah, -3 is bad.
That's
Okay.
a solid 4.
So Seth, your persuade is going to have a dice modifier -3.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Or maybe, Seth, maybe you could do like an engineering shit, something you're better at. Maybe there's like...
I was wanting to take the engineering. The
Mention
other
Event
thing I'm thinking
Horizon.
about,
Yeah.
She's gonna die. Just say Event Horizon.
when we went on that amazing pudding trip, and I got to experience time
I'm sorry, what?
forwards and backwards and sideways, and we got to experience the crew's lives. What do I remember of that captain? What she did when no one was looking? What like conversations she's had? What can I do to either convince her or creep her the hell out?
Goldman's
Man.
memory. Oh,
That's awesome.
That
That
is
is
so
some
smart.
good
Great idea.
Okay.
thinking. That's awesome.
All right. Well, here's one thing you know, and you didn't actually hear this from the captain. You heard this. Captain Montgomery was having a conversation with the Cobb before she came on board. So Captain Yang grew up in a small, distant world, like a kind of backwoods world, and she desperately wanted to attend the Naval Academy, and she failed to qualify not on her merits, but because the regional administrator in the sector never filed her paperwork.
Oh.
So she instead attended Space MIT, but she wanted to attend the academy. And this is part, like, it has kind of formed a kind of grudge in her, a distrust of bureaucracy and that kind of like, you know, not strawman. What's the God, my brain. Where you kind of install a sinecure. She's distrustful of that kind of position. You can use that as you wish. I'm glad I got to go to my biographies document to find something for you, though, so thank you, Seth.
Yeah, just be sure to use the word sinecure in your response.
God, I hope that was the right word.
I don't know. So basically, then I want to pull up enough of her history, because if I can get her to stop long enough to ask, we could explain to Bowman. But the reason we had to have put those documents together is because they didn't give us the documents. They gave us a mission. It was last minute, and they didn't process all the information that we needed. They didn't give us the information. The bureaucratic stuff sent a group of people to scuttle a ship without giving them all of their authorizations. Without doing this, it sent us unprepared because somebody didn't think it was appropriate that we should be given this paper trail, and nobody knew who was in charge of it.
Some sinecure somewhere.
Some sign? Is
Some
that the word
cushy
for
office.
it? Dang.
Yes, sinecure. I think that's the
and just
word
say,
you're
like,
trying to think of.
We're all going to die because somebody didn't put the proper paperwork authorizations on us.
Some
Because
dirty sinecure.
Well, they did it. Wait, are we lying? Because they did it purposefully because they didn't want it to be military affiliated. I'm not talking in Artemis's voice. I'm talking
Well, wait a minute.
They're
That
similar.
would be so funny if you corrected it. Like, no, wait, hold on.
Wait a minute. That's
not what happened.
Are you lying? Hold on.
That's not true. Tell her the truth.
Assuming, what do you want to roll, Seth? What do you want to roll? It still feels like a persuade to me, but
I think it sounds like a persuade, and the only other thing I can do is admin, and I don't have admin, so I don't want to do that. So I'll do persuade.
do you persuade? I'll give you a boot. Assuming that Artemis does not say, wait a minute, are you lying?
No, I was just checking with Seth because I was like, they did tell us that it was just secret, right? Like we didn't fuck something up.
I've tried to get her empathy of how we got screwed up because somebody just didn't process the paper.
Totally. We've all been there. The red tape, am I right? Ugh.
All right,
Red
you
tape.
still have to take the -3 because of the task chain, but you can get a boon.
Yay.
Okay, and this is off social?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm doing this with absolutely no pluses.
Okay.
Boy. Reliant on a boon.
Oh, okay. So my first die, a 2, and then my second die was a 3. My third die was a 2, so that's a 5 -3.
God. Damn it.
What?
All right.
Wow. Wow.
Whatever government you are working with will not have their influence on me. And she just storms out of the brig.
Yeah. Go to your death, you sinecure. You're just like the rest of them.
Okay.
However,
Actually, Philo is like, he feels okay. Because he was mainly worried about either this ship being found by parties that, shouldn't have it, or them completing their mission and blowing up this whole planet. Neither of those things is going to happen now. So he doesn't want to die, but he, at least as a Navy guy, he feels like he's going to die having completed a mission, and that's as the best that he could hope for in the situation.
He's kind of screwed over by the Navy and he's dying in a cell. This is absolutely son of a bitch.
Yeah, Artemis is so fucking pissed. She's like, never would I have taken this type of mission. This sucks ass.
Gigi's like, they could have at least brought us something to snack on.
I'm ready to make a move unless Matthew said but, and he's saying but I want to hear what he has to say before I say something.
Okay.
what's your move going to be? Out of curiosity.
My move.
Flush yourself down the toilet.
I was going to kick my leg through the bar into the back of the kneecap of Brad, and then as he falls forward, grab his head through the bar and slam it into the bars and tell him to unlock it.
Are there bars or is it like a force field?
It is bars. Yeah, it's a physical barrier.
Oh.
Brad is he's at the guard post, across the room.
Oh,
he knows better.
I was gonna drop something and go, oh shit, and try to reach it out of the bars.
Hanky.
Well, hold that thought, because at that moment, you, Drax and Collis, the 2 black marketeers across the way, have been listening to this the whole time. And they and Drax leans forward, and he just goes, "Are we all going to die?"
Yep.
It might be quick. It might take 10,000 years, but yeah.
No, it's gonna be real quick. As soon as
it's
jump.
imploding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful though. That's for sure.
We failed. Sort of.
They look at each other, and they slide. They slide a key card out from under. One puts it under his foot and kind of slides it out into the space, like they're in the cell next to you.
Uh-huh.
They slide it over.
Oh, okay.
Artemis puts her foot on it and slides it secretly back towards Philo.
Do you, Artemis? Sounds like something you have to roll for.
Oh, I knew
If I
it.
put on a key card, that's fine. I've got
No,
I've
no.
got
Stealth.
I've got good stealth.
Stealthily.
I've
It's
got
the stealth. Yeah, it's the
really
the secret
good stealth.
part.
All right, let's do this.
I have a 3 in stealth. I have really
good.
good stealth. Okay, let's see.
Sneaky.
She sneak. Oh, that's a 6, 5.
Ooh.
12, 13. Wait,
Those numbers seem awfully high.
Yeah, that's a high number.
a 6. I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
14.
Well,
Yeah, and then plus 3, and then what do I add to that though?
your stealth and your dex.
Oh, my dex. My dex is nothing. So okay. So it's
Okay, 14.
14.
Got it.
Quite good.
You,
Brad
you
is-
Jedi'd that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
disappeared.
Brad
You
doesn't
guys were like,
even.
where'd it go?
Brad doesn't even see anything happen. You suddenly have a key card in your hands, and Drax and Kalos are like gesturing to the lock. You can kind of reach out. If you have you'd have to like reach out and scan it, but you could feasibly, if they're not lying to you, you could open your door.
Nothing to lose.
Let's go.
I look at the group for the eye contact, our known gesture we give each other.
Yeah.
Is this the known gesture
use
of-
the key card to open the prison door gesture.
And then get to the gate and just go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna sneak. Everyone's ready. I like turn around and I'm gonna sneak my hand out through the bars, key card betwixt my fingers, and betwixt.
All right. Before you do, let's everyone roll initiative.
Okay.
All right. What'd you all get?
6 for Philo.
6.
7.
GG.
5
Wow.
Artemis.
Wow.
So Puffer got a 7. Philo got
How
a
is
6.
that the fastest?
GD, you got 5.
My dex is, well, I have +1 in dex.
I just didn't hear what you rolled. What'd you roll?
Oh, no, I rolled a 6.
Oh, a 6. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then Artemis goes last. And then, however, Brad rolled a 6 too. Okay. How do you break ties in initiative in Traveler Seth?
I think it's dex usually, right? Was it? Yeah.
Well, it's also like who's got the highest stat or skill or whatever it is we're using. We always just assign them. We're all like, whatever.
Whatever. Great.
Can I not use stealth? Can I not use stealth again for my initiative since I'm being stealthy?
Well, you use your dex for initiative, so which is what you would use for stealth.
Unfortunate.
Okay, Puffer, you go
Alright.
first.
So what are we? So is he like onto us?
No. Well,
Is
actually,
the door open? Like, did I open the door, or because I'm going?
you're gonna on your turn. You're gonna scan the card,
Okay.
and then the door will open. And then you go.
Okay.
Why don't you go last? Why don't we just jump to
No,
Artemis and make?
I know what Puffer will do.
Okay.
Oh.
How far away from the side where the key card is are the other two guys? Are they near each other, or is it like they're like on opposite sides of our cell?
Drax and Kalos, or
Yeah.
they're in the they're in the adjacent cell to you.
Okay, so she would need to be on the far side from them.
Yes.
Good. Puffer is going to run up. I'm going to kick those bars. I'm going to start throwing out every damn prison slang term, how I should have just kicked that dude to the dick harder. You know what? If I'm going to die, I want to at least fucking die with his brain matter underneath my heel. That piece of shit. And just go to town.
Okay. So you do that. And you're directing this to Drax and Kalos, right?
As far away as from where that key card needs to go as I can physically get.
So you rush up to like the dividing the bars, like dividing your cells, and you just start like hurling invective, just screaming at them. They're really weirded out by this because they thought they just did you a solid.
I'm gonna skull fuck you! Yeah.
Okay, Philo, it is your turn.
Philo is going to pretend to be holding Puffer back. Just, they're not worth it! They're not worth it!
Hold me back! Hold me back!
Okay, great. Gigi.
all this hubbub is going on, and Gigi's just aware that, time is ticking. And she's gonna look through the bars at Brad, who's surfing a dating website, a space dating website or whatever. Gonna pull from behind her back, boomerang style, through the bars. She's gonna literally throw her private wrench right
they
in
let
there.
you keep your wrench. They threw you in jail.
I don't think you have your wrench in jail.
Seems like a big
How did they
oversight.
know that she had her
It's hidden
wrench?
like Wonder Woman style. Like
How
hidden
did they
like
know?
I'm sure they searched you.
That's horse shit. That's garbage.
I merely pull out my gun when they try to put me in jail and fight my way out of it.
And my chainsaw.
I like
hate you
Alicia.
all.
I have to compliment you on just like the brazen confidence. Just like, I've got
I'm
my
so
wrench
confident.
here. I've got a weapon on me.
I hate you all.
Oh no!
Okay. She
It's a
reaches
good
for it. There's
plan.
nothing
I
there.
think it's a really good plan.
Pats herself on the back.
Yeah.
All right. Gigi
She's just gonna start. Gigi then is just gonna start hurling expletives like Puffer as well, because she
All right.
thinks it's kind of hot.
Okay.
Agreed.
Brad is sufficiently distracted. He's like, what the fuck? You shut the fuck up. Shut up. Hey, stop that. And Artemis, it is your turn.
And she's going to burst the door open after scanning the key card. Hopefully it unlocks it, because she's hitting it real hard.
It just gives a big fart noise. They just.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you first minor action, scan the card. Second minor action, open the door. You have one minor action left.
Shit. I can't attack with a minor action though.
No. You can move.
Yeah,
You can spit at
she's
someone.
going to. Yeah, she's gonna dodge, like just roll across the ground for cover on the other side, hoping that even if Brad looks, maybe he'll miss seeing her and just not even know what happened.
Okay. Great. So you take cover. You run for cover. Okay, Puffer, it is your turn. Puffer, it is your turn. The door is open.
Come on, Brad. I'm gonna dance with a Marine. This is how we did it in Space Lord.
Puffer's going insane.
Your friend Brad.
No.
This is Prison Puffer. This is all
Yeah.
coming out now.
Oh yeah.
all about some-
Oh,
Survival.
true.
I am going to attempt to get that weapon out of his hand. And what does it need to unlock the door of the other two guys? The jerks?
You would need to get the card back from Artemis, scan it, and then.
Okay.
Oh, can I say that I like? Nah, it's fine. Maybe I still have the card. I was gonna say maybe I like toss the card back into the room. Can I retcon?
You can toss it to them, to Drax and Collis if you want.
Oh yeah, I'll just like
yeah.
slide it back to them as I
Okay.
dodge.
Yep. Okay, great. All right, do that, and then Puffer, you bum rush the
I'm
Marine
going to be
and try
on
to disarm
him like a rabid spider monkey trying to get that weapon out of his hands. Just
Okay. roll unarmed.
nine, 10.
10?
So Puffer, you come barreling out of the cell, and you just like you fall on like a full-on rabid spider monkey, this Marine, and he is so surprised, and also you're like throwing fists and elbows, and you wrench the rifle out of his hands. Actually, it's a carbine. He wrenched the carbine out of his hands. Okay,
Nice.
Gigi, it is your turn. Or Philo, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna break like as soon as Puffer does, and I'm going to run up with my slight, skinny frame. Gonna run up and try to slam Brad into the wall. Try to
All right.
just like knock him off balance.
Roll unarmed, melee unarmed.
Okay, it's not be good. Oh, whoa! Actually, wow! I rolled a natty 11, so that's a 9.
Okay,
Wow.
you hit him. Roll your damage, 1d plus your strength.
Nice.
2 points of damage.
Okay, Gigi, is your turn.
What is he wearing?
He's wearing like his Marine armor.
He's wearing armor.
Yeah.
gotta like knock him unconscious or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I will
you know
say
what?
your wrench is let's say it's locked in the personal effects locker on the other side.
Okay. I'm aware of, Gigi's aware of that, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, I mean, she's wearing like really heavy boots. So, you know, she's wearing those combat boots that are pretty, like they're steel toe and pretty heavy. And she saw this on a TV show once. She's gonna literally, you know, take her boot off. And can she take a boot out and just throw it, aiming for his head?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Wow. Cool.
What the hell did you roll for that? You just roll melee. Just roll melee, but add your dex as your modifier.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That would be a ranged attack, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
11!
Oh, nice.
Okay. Roll
Who throws a boot? Honestly.
Honestly. roll 1d and add your strength.
1d?
Yeah.
5.
Oh my gosh. You hit
Wow.
him like the steel toe like clips him in the eye.
Ow.
Okay, Artemis, it is your turn. Or no, it's Brad's turn. Brad is going to try to just like try to disarm. He's trying to just disarm Puffer. And roll and fails. Okay.
Yes.
And let's just say that's his turn. And then Artemis.
Artemis is going to, she peeks back around the corner, seeing that there is chaos and both Philo and Puffer are like on this guy, and he just got hit in the head with a boot. She is gonna make eye contact with Gigi if she can, and make like a run for the locked up personal items room, and just
My shoe.
sprint past the guy.
All
Grab the boot on the way.
right, in the interest of time, let's fast forward. The 6 of you eventually are able to and Marine without a weapon, you're able to overpower the Marine. What is your plan? Like, what's going to happen now?
Murder him.
Kate.
No.
And then make our way to the ship. Get to the cave.
And
the Kate.
We can take Drax and Collis, honestly.
Yeah.
If they want to come, we tell
I
them.
can take unconscious Ricky. I don't care. I just want to go to the Kate.
Yeah.
All right, so you take Brad, and you maybe make Drax and Collis carry Brad.
Yeah.
And you go to the Kate. All right, here's what you're gonna need to roll. I think I'm gonna need to make you all roll stealth.
Naval tactics.
You want to use naval tactics to avoid watches and go take a.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, that's fine.
Nice.
I'll roll for Drax and Collis.
I got a 12 for
Great.
Artemis.
You're fine.
And a 10.
8. Okay.
12 for Philo also.
Nice.
Okay. All right. And Seth, what'd you roll?
Oh, I got a 10.
Oh, okay, great.
Nice.
All right. All right. You make your way to the Kate, and you open up the airlock, and then Drax and Collis are like, wait. What about everyone else? What about all the crew? You said it's gonna blow up. You're just gonna leave them?
It's not going to blow up. It's going to implode. Get on board.
Don't worry.
Nobody.
It's called collateral damage.
Nobody believes us. The captain doesn't believe us. We can't convince everybody. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
I can't leave they look at you like, we can't leave our crewmates.
Will the captain listen to you?
And Collis, that's where he's like, we're fucking black marketeers on the fleet's most confidential warship. You think she gives a shit what we think?
No, exactly.
I would
kind of my
persuade.
point.
Position we're in.
Everyone here is dead. We tried our best. We failed. They're dead. You can stay and die with them, or you can come about. We're black marketeers on the open, and we're alive. And we got an SUV.
Yeah. That's right. It's this pretty cherry SUV in the cargo hold.
Make an announcement. But if the entire armed guard comes at our ship, we're taking off. We're leaving.
And then the captain comes up. The captain gets on the intercom, or the PA. All hands, this is the captain. Everyone secure yourselves, prepare to jump.
Yeah, we gotta go.
And Drax and Collis are like, we can't leave. I get it. They're our friends, our family. What
do we have to do to start undoing the docking clamp? Just keep talking, whatever.
Yeah. Feel
All
free
right.
to stay, but you have to choose now, right now.
They're not going with you.
Okay. See you, Space Cowboy.
There are 33 people on the ship. You're just gonna leave them?
We
Is there a
know.
way to channel to their...
You died years ago. Let's just go.
What?
Is there a way...
Shaquille
what to
O'Neal
do.
Jr. couldn't change things. What chance have we got?
What are we gonna? Yeah, what are we?
Is there a way to go
All
on
right.
their comm channel?
Who's comm channel?
Their ship's comm channel. Because we're on our own right now.
I mean, you could. All right, let's move you on to the Kate. So they're like, we're not going. We can't leave our families. Like, no, but they're not going to fight you.
Yeah.
They go back. These two black marketeers won't leave their friends.
Wow.
Go with
So now
God.
we feel like crap.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, and you
Okay.
you board the Kate, and they're about to jump. Like the lights start to dim on the Ellison. So
Yeah,
you
we
gotta.
have to go. Like,
So I'm gonna
Nothing we
need.
can do.
I mean,
You guys.
do you want to risk it?
Can I on their comms just
Yeah.
say, I mean, it's going to be to everybody, but I'm just going to say,
Hold on, let's
Okay.
do it. We'll set it up. So, I'm gonna need a check from each of you. So,
Okay.
Seth, I'll need either an engineer, some sort of engineering check or a mechanic check to have you detach the ship without permission from the Ellison. Skid, I need a piloting check to get you as far away from as possible from them before they jump. Otherwise, you could be caught in the jump bubble. And Alicia, I think I might need an engineering check from you to spool up the maneuvering drive to get you out of there. Or Seth and Alicia, you could switch too. You both have engineers, so it's. And then Artemis, you're gonna try to get on the comms and try to persuade the Ellison to not jump. Is what I'm assuming, right?
one last ditch effort. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah,
gotta-
because now I
All
feel
right.
like a jerk,
Okay.
like a little jerk.
So, Seth, what's Puffer gonna roll?
I was going to do the docking clamp, and I got a
Great.
13.
Okay. The Ellison, you detach from the Ellison. All right, Alicia, you want to spool up that maneuvering drive for me? Me, I'm not.
I want to
gonna, for you guys.
maneuver. So basically, what I want to do is I'm trying to make sure that Puffer doesn't take the ship and take off, or am I just trying to maneuver?
You're like
the
turning
ship?
on. You're turning on the engines so that
Okay.
Philo can
That's
pilot
fine.
you away.
Oh! 10.
All right, so
Nice.
you race down to engineering and you just start like throwing switches and spooling up drives. Yeah, you pull your wrench out and you clamp onto something and turn
wrench.
it. It looks really badass. And then Philo, you slide up into the pilot's seat and you just like flip on the control and you have to see if you can get yourselves away from this before they jump.
Yeah, he's basically like trusting in everyone else to do their jobs on time. He's going through all his checks. He's turning on all of his stuff in the pilot seat, and he just on a countdown, trusting that everyone else has done their job, he punches it, and he rolls a 10.
Did we get,
Okay. What?
did we get Brad, or did they keep Brad?
They kept Brad.
oh, damn it.
Did we get Brad? Did we have a Marine now as part of our
Brad.
We're short one, Brad.
crew? They were carrying him, so they just carried him back in. Okay, you guys, you detach from the Ellison, you break free, and Gigi punches the engine, and Philo just rockets you away from the Ellison. But Artemis, you can get on comms and make one last ditch effort to get them not to jump.
Okay.
What do you say?
Artemis says, Captain Yang, this is Piper Artemis of the Kate's Gambit. This is the last time we'll have communication. We have detached from your ship and are leaving before the jump. We told you not to jump. We asked you not to jump. We begged you not to jump. It's left up to you. If you jump, you all will die. Everyone on the Ellison will die. There's a flaw in the jump system we told the captain about. Please make the decision not to jump and save yourself. If you do, report to, and then she gives wherever the military base, I forget, it wasn't on the planet we were on. They took us on the ship and then told us to go, but wherever, she tells them coordinates. She says, we are going to these coordinates. We can still scuttle your ship if you decide not to jump.
All right, roll persuade.
Over and out.
Can you add anything? What can you add? Can you add anything?
Take a boon.
Okay. Thank
You're
you.
trying to save 40. You're trying to save 30 some odd lives here.
And the boon gives me an extra dice or just a plus?
Extra die. Yeah.
Best 2 out of 3.
That's 2 out of 3. Okay, so roll 3. Oh god.
This is not going to be an easy check, by the way.
Yeah, this is rough.
Okay. Okay, I rolled first a 5, then a 1,
Okay.
then a 6.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So that would be an 11, but I do have a -1 for social, so that's a 10.
Okay.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It
All right.
needs it, doesn't it?
The Kate's Gambit detaches from the Ellison and rockets away, and Philo is kind of flying away at top speed. Gigi's cranking up the engines. Puffer's running down to the engine room to try to get the juice out of him.
We gotta have that jump drive spooled before they shoot us.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
You can see the lights in the windows of the Ellison all start to dim from so that they can jump, and they spooled their jump drives. And a massive explosion in engineering just like breaks the ship in half, and then their weapons complement, all those nukes, all of those missiles, everything just goes off, and a massive explosion like just detonates in the middle of the system.
Oh.
Shaquille, this is all your fault.
Did we our sensors record that? Because that's our proof.
Did we get a recording of that? Puffer, maybe you ran at the last second, just hit the record button.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Puffer, you bring up an interesting point. There are possibly more mercenaries on their way to the system, so you do have to get out of here.
Right.
Yeah, we have
Pull
to
it up
jump.
and get out of here, which is great. We get to go
Yeah.
to jump space where jerk-face Shaq lives.
Space Shack lives. All right, so I need an astrogation check.
Yep. 10.
You good? And then a J drive check from the engine from some Seth. I believe you're the jump engineer.
Yep.
Oh.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Nice.
You jump away with ease. A week goes by. You arrive at the designated coordinates that were supplied to you. Eventually, you're supposed to wait. You're supposed to kind of wait there until designate. You probably have to wait there another week for the fleet to get there, and then so eventually the admiral shows up. The cruiser shows up. The admiral comes up, and you give him the proof. You're debriefed. You and Mrs. Banks. They debrief you for days. They want to know. Down to the detail. They want to know exactly what happened, and you tell them. And you're each offered what he offered you. They're gonna wipe your slate clean. They paid off your debt to Ames. They offer Philo, you can be recommissioned as lieutenant commander with your record expunged. Puffer, you can be recommissioned as a commander with your record expunged. Artemis, your record will be wiped clean, and Professor Nova's record will be wiped clean. And Gigi, they offer you information on your sister. So that's what you don't have to take the offers, but what do you do? What do you decide?
I'll take it long enough to quit.
Yeah.
So you accept your commission and then you resign?
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Okay, mind you, I
Same.
also want to point out they're seizing the Kate's Gambit.
Oh
What?
no.
What?
They own the ship. They paid for it.
Where do I keep my stuff?
Oh, you can take your stuff.
They said they would pay it off for us. They didn't say they would pay it off and then keep it.
My sh-
Artemis takes the deal and leaves. Straight up leaves.
Gigi, you take the deal?
Gigi takes the deal, and she sort of looks at Artemis and says, you going anywhere special?
I'm gonna go see a friend for a while. Where are you going?
Well, I know where I want to go. And she holds up the envelope that has information. And she say, but maybe before I do this, I was wondering if you want some company.
Actually, you know where I'm going. You want to go say hi to the professor?
Yeah, I know where you're going. All right.
All right, let's jump forward a little bit. So, Philo, you're actually recommissioned. So there's like a ceremony because they're also giving you a medal. Just to just keep you quiet.
Right.
And your parents attend.
Oh wow.
Your mother, the admiral, and your father, the retired captain. They attend. And
what about Craig?
You can invite Craig if you want.
I would like Craig to be there.
All right, you invite
Does Craig need water? Is he like in a watery suit?
Craig, they have dolphins. Yeah, they have these suits with like legs on them. Yeah,
okay.
They have the special suits.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you're giving them. They give you a medal, and you just stand there. They like. So there's a whole ceremony. The captain of this cruiser that you've been assigned to, he takes off your former insignias, your ensign insignias, or you were a lieutenant, and then he puts on the lieutenant commander insignias, and he pins the medal to your chest. They all salute you. It's very moving. Puffer, the same thing happens to you on a different ship. I don't know if you're
the end of Star Wars, but instead of Chewie, it's a dolphin.
Yep, exactly. Artemis.
I'm quitting once I can. I'm out. Navy screwed me too many times. Like, I want my DD-214. I'm out.
They're like the captain who's doing the ceremony is like, you want to discuss this in the? All right, no, hang on. All right, fine. Meanwhile, Artemis, your record's wiped clean, and they tell you that they've expunged Professor Nova's record. And she's being released from Imperial prison and restored to her teaching position, but you're told to offer her a warning that the intelligence service is always keen to keep watch over those with separatist leanings. And Lucy, and Gigi, you're given information about Lucy. Lucy was an agent of the Imperial Intelligence Service. You didn't know. And she was last seen, however, on a ship departing for Jodani space. After an Ine Gavar operation went south and several people were killed in an explosion. And it's unknown if her sympathies have turned. But that's all in the future. For now, you're all departing for your separate ports of call. And you each board your separate transports. They each lift off and hover for a moment, and they begin to maneuver out of the cruiser's hangar bay. And each of you finds yourself gazing out the window at this old, busted, very often jury-rigged bar trader that you came to call home for so long. And then you fly out of the cruiser's hangar bay door and out into space. And each of your transports just starts hurtling away from all planetary bodies. Engineers spool up your jump drives, the lights dim, the covers over the windows descend. And there's a brief moment, and then you jump. And that is the end of our story for now.
Oh, I love it.
I changed my mind. I'm keeping my commission, by the way. I had assumed we were going to stick together, but it's like, okay, fine.
I'm
changing my mind.
Stick together.
Yeah.
We're gonna see each other.
We'll see each other in the future.
To quit.
This was traumatic. Artemis needs a fucking break. This was horrible.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Well, you saved Loquar, and you saved averted a war between Clorth and Noja. But yeah, the crew,
We did though.
they couldn't.
That was actually, honestly, all things considered, that was a pretty successful mission.
It was.
Well, also,
It
we thought they were going to be dead anyway. Like it
Right.
was.
Yeah, we assumed it was a ghost ship. So
Yeah.
yeah, they by all rights, those people should have died of old age at worst years ago.
And also, what would have happened if we had taken them back? You know, they were in these pocket dimensions. Like, who knows? That's pretty fucked up time stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone they would have known would have been dead.
Right.
So
I like
We
the
can
idea that
justify this.
when the shutter at least shuts in front of Puffer, it's actually got written on the glass backwards, like "Screw you, Shaq."
Never forget.
I'll never forget. Shaquille O'Neal.
I want to thank you all for playing. This has been a real joy. Thank you all for letting me run this game at all, and then just being such a wonderful group.
Great
And
job,
thank you to
Matthew,
Ian,
and
who's
everybody.
So
been
good.
producing our shows this whole time.
Ian.
But yeah, that's it for now. We'll see what happens if the story ever continues. Mysterious. All right.
Thank you, Matthew.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you,
guys.
Matthew.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everybody.
Everybody.